So, welcome to our National Space the Special podcast series. When we think about space exploration, we often think about rockets, satellites, and missions. But behind every successful mission is the most complex system of all, and that is human mind. Today, we are delighted to host Ms. Revathi Mohan, the founder of Purple Counseling Care, aerospace psychology specialist, author of Astronaut Space in Solitude, and professional who has worked excessively on human performance, resilience, and well being in high pressure environments. Welcome to the show, Ms. Revathi. It's wonderful to have you with us.
Pleasure is mine, Rutuja. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, let's begin to our conversation. Um, so, Ms. Revathi, like many people are familiar with aerospace engineering, but space psychology is still a new concept. What inspired you to enter in this field?
People assume aerospace psychology is a pioneering concept, but it is not there. It was there in the period right from the first cosmonaut, Mr. Yuri Gagarin. Out of 20 astronaut candidate, you know how they chose Mr. Yuri Gagarin? Any
No, I
guess?
am not. No, I
That
am not.
quality is in you. I now have noticed right from the beginning. Can you guess? Being a psychologist. It is because of his engaging smile and the way
Oh,
he yes and the way he deal with the other astronaut candidates and also the other people, because they choose the candidate based on a lot of aspects, whether the technical aspects and also their personal aspects. They put them in a general room and then they observe their behavior, and then right from the selection process they just notice each and every specific human quality in them, and then they just take it for the astronaut selection consideration. And Yuri Gagarin himself mentioned after 20 astronauts, I asked, he said that he asked the selection committee member. So one of them mentioned it is because of his because of his smiling attitude and engaging conversation. Because being in the space, it is not an easy thing. It is a teamwork, and most importantly, they need to be a pleasant person to, of course, their workers in the hyper pressure environment, undoubtedly. And the most important thing is they need to be a act like a very good human being. Their attitude should not be offensive or any inhibitions, or it should not affect any of their teammates as well. The teamwork plays an important role in any organization, so in space environment.
this story is actually something which I was not aware of, but definitely I feel yes, you're right. I guess by smile you can impress people too, and it creates a good environment also in a team too.
That should
I
be
would
natural, and that should not be something like artificial. That is
yes.
something who you are. For example, if you are a person that you are genuinely interested to talk to me, or genuinely interested to do some certain works, it just reflects in your face.
Yes.
And yeah.
Coming to one more question. I as you have written this astronaut space in solitude also. What fascinated you most while researching and writing this astronaut space in solitude?
A lot, Rutuja, a lot and lot. The most important thing is I just got fascinated by all the astronauts personal qualities. You just maybe it just blow your mind too. They have a very good sense of humor, and they have a strong gratitude. Of course, they are determined, and they take care of each other as well. Beside the country borders, or for example, once they reach the space, it is just a small ball they are seeing, witnessing from the space environment, where there is no borders, no chaos, nothing like that. They just see just the blue ball bouncing, rotating around the sun. Yeah, the most human qualities and their persistence. And one of my most favorite astronauts, he was also a chief capcom in the NASA space agency as well. His name is Mr. Chris Hadfield. Oh my God. I read one of his recent interviews. You know what he mentioned? We need to accept our wife knows more than us. What a human quality. There is no inhibition, no grudge, no attitude. The person went to space station, and he was one of the most trusted space agent by NASA. And his father was a pilot, and his name has been given to Chris Hadfield Airport in Canada.
Oh,
And yes, a person achieved more, but even then, he still have the childlike curiosity, childlike learning attitude, and the most important thing is to stay grounded. He just spends his time with his grandchildren, and of course, they are more human, more grounded, and the most important thing is they have a lot of gratitude and appreciation for people, genuine appreciation. Yeah.
yes, I must say this is one of the quality I will also learn down the line. But yes, this is something which I guess will inspire a lot of people too. Um, See, when we imagine astronauts, we often think of physically fit superheroes. But what challenges and what psychological challenges do astronauts actually face?
Okay, so right from the selection process itself, it is not something separate. The physical fitness is important, technical expertise is much important, of course, the patriotic quality is important. Equally, the psychological qualities are also mostly important. So that's the reason they chose professionals from the high risk environment. Someone like people into military, navy, armed forces, especially test pilot are Mr. Subhanshu Shukla and our first astronaut, Mr. Rakesh Sharma, he was also a test pilot because they predict high risk. They worked in a high risk environment, and operating and getting into the space and working in a high pressure environment is not a big deal for them. And then their most important qualities are for the high performers are just finish the task, accept the
Hmm.
situation, finish the task. That is one of the most important thing. And of course, when answering your question, their cognitive ability plays an important role. They need to have a rigid thinking, they need to have that acceptance attitude, zero complaints of the about the situation. Of course, if there are any complaints, they address it clearly in the initial stage,
Yes,
right? Because space, it is $1 trillion economy, and being in this international space station, it's not an easy job. There every moment will be getting noticed and monitored, and they'll getting instructions every minute, every second. And then the people cannot risk just like that. And the most important quality, I mean, most important challenges are decision fatigue when they operate in the isolation environment, and of course staying away from home. Emotional fluctuations are there, homesickness are there. Just relate yourself. I stayed in hostel for 11 years right from my childhood, and when astronauts say these are the challenges, I'm like, yeah, I also face a similar challenge.
yes,
It is, come on, of course. Their technical expertise is just mind blowing. Their physical ability and cognitive ability, everything is there. But at the end of the day, they are human, and
yes,
that's the reason they connect more with the food. They connect more with the people around them. So that's the reason they just take the homemade, I mean, the cultural food, they just take to the space, their native food they take to the space, and so that they will not feel missing home.
yes, true.
And being in a sustained long time in the space environment, that sometimes leads to loneliness. It is subjective, Rutuja, it's completely subjective. And it leads to sometimes attention decline,
Hmm.
and a lot of other factors. It's completely subjective.
Yes. Coming to this long duration missions, like isolation is a major part of this long duration mission. What does prolonged isolation do to this human behavior and I will say the decision making also?
The most important challenges are maintaining motivation for a long run is not an easy joke,
Yes, true.
right? Self
Yes.
motivated and maintaining
Hmm.
a team effort is not an easy joke. For example, they know it is, it is something like the well prepared mission is all about the well prepared mind. Um, right? And
Hmm.
emotional self-regulation plays an important role. Hope you have watched the Artemis mission 2 journey of the four astronauts. Oh my
Yes. Yes.
god, oh my god, oh my god, I just love those people, you know. They were
Hmm.
together and supported each other, and once they back, you know, they said it is a mission of integrity. And
Yes.
yeah, and you know, they said we are back. And the moments they supported each other during the tough time, even they had some issues in the toilet vent, but they just Christina Koch worked like a she called herself as a space plumber. And yeah, if there is a challenges, come on, we just encounter the challenges with the right mindset. Presence of mind plays an important role. Of course, when there are challenges, they need to address immediately at the earliest possible so that they can avoid the risk. It is not like,
Yes.
oh my god, if there is risk, if I mention, what they misperceive me, what they feel, what they consider me as I'm underperforming, unqualified. No, the most important quality of astronaut is being authentic, Rutuja.
Yes.
Being authentic, yeah, this is
Hmm.
one of the lot of psychological qualities are important. In that, the being authenticity plays an important role. Ability to consider um, the challenges as an opportunity, and also the shrewdness, the willingness to take risk, and
Yes.
to lead the team. It is not like to lead the team, I should not dominate them. Meanwhile, you should know who's better at doing which task well.
Yes.
And yeah, yes,
So
Rutuja.
the point of authenticity, I will say, it's not only in just astronauts, but I feel in our regular work culture also, it's something which I have seen. A person being authentic and real, and whenever situation comes, he solves it or take initiative, definitely wins it. So yes, I
Yes.
must say this is something a good insight. Um, I will ask this because as you mentioned about isolation, mental motivation, and all. What are some mental resistance, or I will say practices used by astronauts that everyday professional can run from? I understand authenticity is one. Uh, Solving issues immediately, taking actions on that is one. But apart from that, there will be some mental resilience. What will be that practices that professionals should also do, or which are similar to space astronauts and all?
The most important thing is they are open for welcoming feedbacks, reviews, and critics.
Hmm.
You know, when it comes to mental health, Rutuja, it is one cannot be separated from other. Like the physical stability and physical fitness is equally important. Mental fitness and mental stability is equally important. They read books and update things. And emotional stability, what they do for their feelings and their emotional well-being, plays an equal important role. And also their spiritual well-being, whatever it may be. It doesn't mean they need to connect with this particular religion or devotion. No, it's not like that. They can have a belief on anything it may be: belief of God, belief of nature, belief of hard work, whatever they strongly believe in. They need to practice it. They It is not they need to practice it, they practice it regularly and structurally. For example, their routines are completely structured, Rutuja. For example, when they are in the International Space Station, it is not like choosing some candidate, come on, come to space, something like giving appointment to a friend. It's no. For this, they practice for years and years and years, and then they wait for the right moment, based on the mission requirement. All right.
Yes.
And then only they just send the people for the space send the people to the professionals to the space station. So you know, their attitude, their behavior, and their feedback suggestions will be given training and noticed and monitored. They have a team of professionals to support them. That's the reason they just send them for the training to Antarctic. They just let them to skydive, they just let them to do scuba diving, because they chose professionals from cave explorers, rock climbers. It completely choose the candidate depends on the mission requirement.
Yes.
And one
Yes.
important thing, I read an article maybe a year or ago. They practice a breathing technique when they are in stress. For example, it is called space breathing. I mean, sorry, square breathing. Excuse me, it's called square breathing. They just breathe in 4 times and exhale 1 time. Let's do it now. Come on. One,
Okay.
inhale. When I say one, two, three, four, and exhale from your mouth.
Okay.
Yes,
Hmm.
let's do it one more time, okay?
Yes.
One, two, three, four. Exhale.
Yes. Hmm.
It gives a kind of relief. And
Yes.
this is also subjective, Rituja. For example, whatever works for some person may not work for the other person too. And they also have the certain tools, psychological techniques. They do the assessment for the physical examination, how the body works, how the physical how their physical biological, they just assess their biological behavior through some what is that through their assessing their blood cells, taking the blood samples. And similarly, they have some psychological tools too. For example, if the person is behaving indifferent, they just do the psychological assessment too, and then they have some tools. And I got an opportunity to meet a few astronauts last for the past 2 years, to 2023 at Dubai Air Show and 2025 at the Dubai Air Show. I got an opportunity to meet Mr. Haza Al Mansouri. He's my huge inspiration. He said, of course it is possible to connect with the psychologist on the ground. Whatever information they are doing, the sharing, it is 100% confidential and private. Right from the training session, then reaching the space station, and after mission recovery support, action reviews and recovery support, everything, whatever information they share, it is confidential. And the most important thing is they maintain a journal,
Hmm. Yes.
because that is much important. For example, these are all the challenges or good things or they have encountered. They just want to pass it down to the next generation. Our
Yes.
Subhanshi Shukla said, our astronaut said, it is important to send the elevator down so that the other person will go up.
Yes,
Yes.
I have heard this in one of the interview, and yes, it is something inspiring that you support others to make them learn also. Um, when you we will come to our next segment. So now, as you have covered a lot of topics which I was going to ask you, but yes, one more is what opportunities do you see emerging in India for students interested in space science, human factors, and aerospace psychology? Because now, if you see, there are many careers, many diversification, but the, not clear pictures are given, or they don't know the route. So, how will you guide them?
For example, it is much important to know what they are good at, who they
Yes.
are. For example, if you ask me to do engineering, science, mathematics, and technical aspect, oh my god, I just run to space. I just fly to space. My personality is completely different. The most important thing is to assess your personality and assess what you are good at. For example, if some person is good at technical expertise doing math well, that doesn't mean I need to chase what I am not good at, and it is much more complicated for me. Assess your personality well. There are tons and trillions of opportunities. For example, the Skyroot Aerospace, they have started around 2018, I guess. Now
Yes,
see where they are. They are just sending the satellites, so they are launching their rockets.
yes.
And yeah, it's the most important thing is, whatever you do it with 100% dedication right from your schooling. And the most important thing is be a very good human being. How you treat others, the teamwork and how you treat others plays an important role. And everything can just fall in place. For example, before 10 years there is no there is no concept called AI. Before
Yes.
20 years, But now a lot of things are emerging. For example, a lot of technologies will come, a lot of things will change. The most important thing is, are you adaptable? Are you willing to learn new things? How you are dedicated and passionate and thinking out of the box, that plays an important role, right?
Yes, true, true. This is definitely going to inspire a lot of young generation who are looking to arrive on their career paths. So we'll just play a rapid fire. Just two, three questions I will be asking you, and one word you can see for that. One word that describes space according to you.
Infinite.
Okay. Um, a habit every student should develop.
Be a lifelong learner. Have a childlike curiosity in you.
Yes. Um, you have to choose between moon, Mars, and or deep space. What will you choose?
Beyond everything, why I want to?
Yes.
Come on, it's true, right? Why we
Yes,
want to just
definitely.
limit our thoughts, limit our intentions? Yeah, we need to go beyond everything, right? We need to
Yes,
think
true.
about multiverse. We are not in universe. We need to think about multiverse.
Yes. Um, Now this is a tough question. Success or resilience, which matters more to you?
The most easiest question: resilience. Because
Okay.
if you're resilient, success will follow your way. Rutuja, the definition of success varies from person to person.
Person. Yes,
My
true.
definition of success is completely different from your definition. And it
Yes.
may not matter for anyone in this world.
Yes,
Whatever
true.
I have cherished is celebrated the most may not make any meaningful meaning after 5 to 10 years. Then by the time we have different kind of aspiration, we chase some different thing. And the most important thing is, are we enjoying the journey? Are we being true to the journey? As I said, authenticity plays an important role.
Yes,
Yeah.
true. And last one question. I think I know the answer, but then too I will ask. A book recommendation for aspiring space enthusiasts.
Let's say the answer together.
I want to hear it from you.
It is Astronaut Space in Solitude, indeed, my book. The reason is, for example, they just get an opportunity to know all the astronauts' life and the challenges and the opportunities, who they are in that one book.
Yes.
That really triggers them to read and watch interviews and watch videos, read about their biographies and get inspired by that. It is a book of passion, learning about persistence, being human, most importantly, to stay grounded. And they always we say astronaut, they are just behind their professional mask. They are the father, they are the son, and they are someone's sibling. uh, a lot of things are there, no? Like when you ask the astronauts who went to the recently the Artemis mission, my most favorite, Mr. Reed Weissman, he said the most toughest job is being a father. And
Yes.
Mr. Subhanshu Shukla also said, without you, nothing is matters, and without you, nothing is impossible. He said this message to his wife. And most importantly, people do what they do because, of course, they have a passion, but also for their loved ones, Rutuja, to come and share the amazing stories. And that's what describes who we are, what we are doing to make our loved ones feel loved and to be proud of ourselves. Whether are you doing it ethically, morally, and how it benefit the society, and how it creates a good name and good impact for the society. That plays an important role.
Yes, true. And definitely now your book is also in one of my read list, which I'm going to read soon. So yes, Revi. So thank you for sharing such fascinating insights, such beautiful stories, which will inspire a lot of people. And today's conversation reminded me about the space exploration is not only about the technology and innovation, but also about the courage, the resilience, the adaptability, the extraordinary potential of the human mind. And as we celebrate this National Space Day, let's remember that every great mission begins not only with the launch of vehicle, but with a dream and the determination to pursue it. And thank you so much, Ms. Safety, to be on this podcast of us.
It's a pleasure, Rutuja. It's a pleasure talking to you. It's a pleasure sharing about your journey. And thank you so very much, Rutuja. Appreciate your time and thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much.